Welcome back to the channel. I want to start off with a huge thank you to all the recent subscribers. I know Mr. Free-to-Play MSF sent quite a few folks over to the channel after a recent shout out, and it took me over the top. I got to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is something I was kind of working toward. I mean, over time, it definitely makes this little hobby a little more interesting if I can get dozens of dollars over time and be able to improve things like lighting. Now, lighting's a little hard for a guy like me who's a little shiny and my glasses reflect things, but I do want to fix my lighting, so maybe over time I'll do that. I just really do appreciate all the recent subscribers. I apologize for the way this year has gone as far as not being able to be very consistent. Again, I have a day job, but and when the kids came home for school, then this kind of ended. Well, they've gone back to school for the last 2 weeks and a day, so I've been able to start posting some videos again. And what I want to talk about today is gold income, one of my favorite topics, and one I haven't revisited in a while. I do have folks ask me sometimes, how are you keeping that amount of gold available so that you always run to the max on character milestones? And one, I think I've had a little bit of luck with gold orbs, but the truth is, as I've analyzed things over the last couple of weeks, we've had a raise. For 8-9 months, since I started analyzing things and keeping up with it, we were earning an average of about 1 million gold a day. Depending on where you are, obviously early game players don't have access to getting into challenge tiers and payday top tier and making as much gold in raids by being very high up in raids. But all those things really stack up, and over the last couple of months, we've seen some pretty big changes. So gold orbs are still by far the biggest contributor to daily gold. That gold orb that you get from the alphabet raids is very important, and we're getting them a lot of other places too now. So, I mean, you can get them quite a few more shards from the, say, Tier 14 challenge, which, by the way, Symbiotes just helps you annihilate. So Symbiotes have helped me do a lot of things lately, and getting more gold is one of those things. So campaign is up to about, gold orbs is about 270,000 gold a day. It's in fact not the leading contributor anymore. Campaign is actually more than that at 305,000. And it took over first place when we got the ISO campaign. So I don't do any refreshes for cores in the ISO campaign each day, but I do 4 at 50 for the regular campaign. And when you add all those up, plus what you can get half the time, but essentially half the time for a character campaign, adds up to 300,000 gold a day. That's a lot. I mean, the new Heroes campaign nodes, the Doom nodes, the Villain nodes, they give a lot more gold, and those are the things I'm having to farm. So like things like Negasonic and Ironheart, I'll be farming for quite a bit longer. And if we get some more characters in there, like whatever that Thor node is, I still think Beast is going there. That's what I would put there. They don't ask me, but that's what I would put there. Some character will go there sometime. Thor just doesn't make sense to stay in that spot. The next one is actually interesting. It used to be that the Blitz thresholds were the third largest contributor to gold, and it's still very important to keep doing Blitz thresholds all the time. Right now, we're doing a heck of a lot more than Blitz thresholds if you're chasing Anti-Venom, but if it wasn't for Anti-Venom, I definitely wouldn't be pushing for Nobu that starts tonight or Venom. I would just be taking the time off. I would run the thresholds, put it away. But now, actually, if you can get the Tier 14 challenge, it's taken over the spot. So Tier 14, like I've got a monster symbiote squad, and they annihilated it. Over time, it's definitely accessible to all. Less accessible to folks who didn't get Symbiote Spider-Man while he was a milestone character. I mean, it's accessible if you've been pushing. If you're at a different stage in your game, it's just going to be tougher. I do believe these characters will become farmable sometime. They're just amazing, and I'll give Fox and X Scopely a high five on. They really have been accessible. Like, I've got a really strong Scream. I've just got a 4-star Anti-Venom so far, and it's 80,000 power. It's amazing. But yeah, so that takes it up to an average of 154,000 gold a day. Obviously, it runs 3 times a week, and you got to divide that by 7 days, but that's 154,000. Then it comes to blitz thresholds, which average out to about 136,000 gold a day, which is amazing. That's with 2 character blitzes a week, and then whatever the Sunday thing is, which is like, premium orbs and red star orbs, both of which aren't very useful to me, but I love the currency, the blitz currency, and I love the gold. Next is actually raids. We usually, my alliance, which isn't the top tier, but we do fine. We do like 1 to 5% on everything. We got up to Ultimate 7.5, so those nodes are worth a lot more gold than they used to. They're worth 14,000 gold now. Admittedly, right now during this event, we've dropped down to either 7.3. I'm smashing that with symbiotes just so that we can work on those milestones for a bit. But it's worth a lot of gold. It's 117,000 gold a day if you count your alphabet raids and your ultimates raids. So that's probably will go up once we get the raid selector for the alphabet raids. So look for a little bit of a raise there. Then there's the daily objectives, which doesn't scale. They've kind of stayed the same. Like when we got some new objectives in, they didn't include gold with them. But that's 115,000 gold. There's nothing to sneeze at. Then payday tier 7, which seems unlikely. We'll go to tier 8 unless they figure out a new scaling for it. If they require ISO or whatever, I don't know. I don't want that. I just leave it where it is. I mean, some things that are at a fixed amount will just over time scale down, while other things that are more variable, like campaign nodes and the challenges, will scale up. That's the way of things. That's about 80,000 gold a day. Then war. I actually we're in the gold tier. We may hit the platinum tier sometime soon. I don't really care about, I do wars. I participate, do my part, have fun getting some wins, but the rewards just don't vary a lot between wins and losses. It's just kind of, do you continue to do it? And over time, you should move forward. But even that, there's not a wide range of how much gold you'll earn. It's a little bit of difference of gold between a win and a loss in war, a little bit of difference in ABCs. What I really found, though, is I don't need as much income because I used to spend a lot of the gold to buy ABCs. Now we got ABCs coming in a lot of different ways. Alphabet raid orbs, event rewards, they just seem to be coming out of all the nooks and crannies. So the income has gone up roughly 20%. We were averaging 1 million. Now we're averaging 1.2 million and change. And so we've gone up 20%, and then we don't need to spend as much because the ABCs are a lot more plentiful. That saying, I don't ever have too many ABCs. Before this round of Emma started, I had about 2,000. I used them all. Now I don't know what I'm just saving them in case I want to work on the Pimtech team, which is not in case. I definitely want to work on the Pimtech team. I've always wanted Ant-Man and Wasp to be better. It doesn't mean I'm going to spend on Yellow Jacket yet. It looks interesting, but I keep staring at 5 energy for single target, 30% health drain, and that's just really, really, really not the same as Ebony Maw or Minerva or Phoenix in Dark Dimension 3, and I'm really just thinking about it for Dark Dimension 4, so I don't know, it's once every 5 turns he can do a 30% down. I mean, if you do the math in your head, it's Phoenix was doing a 20% for everything, practically, every second turn. She would die and come, and that would take everybody out. If you have characters on the other side who have self-healing of 15% to 20%, one time 30% every 5 turns, unless they have some way to generate a lot of energy in global, which is not really how global works right now, is not a big deal. You may take that 30% and then they'll heal themselves up more than that by the time you get back to the ability. So we'll see. Cautiously optimistic, but also not going to pretend that that it doesn't seem like a Phoenix replacement right now. Anywho, that said, so those paydays are great. War is solid, and then just other ways, more gold does pour in. I'm probably underestimating the other category in that we get a lot of rewards from our these various events that pop up lately, all these milestone events and gold orb shards and things that pop up. But yeah, did you realize you'd had a 20% raise? I'm impressed. It was a solid 8 or 9 months. Seriously, we ran right at 1 million. It may have been longer before that. But really these changes in challenge tiers, ISO that lets a lot of different alliances increase their tiers and ultimates. That helps earn a lot more gold too. So hey, enjoy your raise. Thank you for what you've done as a subscriber to my channel, or even if you just watch. I mean, any of the same. But I really appreciate the recent subscribers and the longtime subscribers who stuck with me. If they kids stay in school a bit or come into some kind of A/B schedule where they're in school part of the week and not, then maybe I can be a lot more regular, having fun. That's it for today, though. I hope you stay safe. Go outside if you can. I'm not spending a lot of time outside today because it's raining. But have a great day.